we go.
Oh, we still got 1 minute. 1 minute if you're in the chat. 1 minute. Anyone in the chat? Just us?
Just us.
Awesome. Okay, here we go.
We ready right now.
Yeah.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Blame Your Brother. This is episode 66. And there are three of us tonight. We're a man down. Lee, if you didn't know, will not be with us tonight. His wife is expecting any moment, so he is at home attending to that. So me and John, we're here. We're gonna do this show. So there's two of us tonight. I am one half of that duo. My name is David, aka D Brew, the voice of the people, Mr. 40%, the dictator, Nick Nickum, Glenn Jackson, so many more. Spiritual midget. I could go on for days, but I won't. I'm joined this week by the guy to the right. His name is John.
Hey everybody, John here, aka Tico, aka Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
That's me.
Okay, he's a madman.
I'm a madman.
There we go. So yeah, guys, bybpod.com is the website. That's where you can check it out, all the past episodes. And every Thursday you can join us on YouTube, youtube.com/blameyourbrother or blameyourbrother.tv. We stream the show live, so come hang out with us as we discuss many topics and we try to entertain you in the process. And we'll sell a lot more as the show goes on, but right now that is it. So we'll start off since there's only two of us. John, how's your week been this past week?
Pretty good. Like you, I saw Thor not Dark World, Ragnarok.
We shall discuss in just a minute then. That's okay, good. All right.
What else did I do? Okay, that might have been it.
That's it. That's all right. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. This was a pretty crazy week for me. I did go see Thor Ragnarok, which we will discuss, probably spoiler free in just a bit here. I did some sad news for me. I had to put down my dog, who I had for 9 years. So it was a pretty tough moment. He started getting sick weeks ago, and just kind of built up where his bladder was shutting down. He was miserable, just laying down long periods of time. Wasn't eating, so it was time. It's a rough call to make. I've never had to do that before. So it was rough, man. A lot of tears were shed, and the entire family was upset about it. But that's part of life, I guess. That's part of having a dog, and I guess a lot of people say that's one of the reasons you have dogs is to teach kids about death and things like that. So my kids have been asking some questions about it, but he was a good dog, one of the sweetest, just most laid back dogs I've ever been around and had in my life. It's one where we could open the back door, he'd go out, walk around the neighborhood, come back, and
I remember Ranger.
Oh yeah,
that dog was all over the place.
Yeah, that was so growing up, that was a collie I had, and this was like a Shetland, similar to a collie, smaller. But yeah, that's sad news. But behind every sad moment, there's always a blessing somewhere to be found. So a lot of good things happened this week, but that stood out the most. My son tested for another karate belt this week, so he's moving up. He's like 2 belts away from a black belt. So he did that this week. So that was, that was a positive. And it's just been a busy week, man. It's, life is busy. That's all I can say. Like, you blink your eye and the week's over, and that's it. But before we get to Thor Ragnarok, I do want to tell everybody, if you're free this weekend and you're listening to this, as today is November the 9th, if you're listening to this in the next 24 hours or so, you need to go check out the Grand Ole Expo, which is going to be held in Nashville. Our friend David Corrigan is hosting a video game convention. And when I say video games, I don't mean just like, consoles. I'm talking old
arcades and
arcade consoles, the big ones, a lot of pinballs, things like that. It's going to be a good time. If you want to go, it's being held November 10th through the 12th. Grand Ole Game Room Expo. You can go to the website grandoleexpo.com. I will be there. tomorrow, actually, I'll be there all day helping load in a lot of the machines and things like that. So that
better you than me.
yeah, no, it's gonna be I'm gonna get a good workout, and then this weekend I'm going camping with scouts. So it's gonna be a busy weekend for me, but I'm gonna go check out this Game Room Expo. Went last year, had a blast. David Corrigan is a great guy. He's always supported the show, always helped the show out. So if guys do that for the show, I'm going to go help them out. So it's fun. They bring the whole family. There's VR rooms. My kids got to play VR for the first time last year, and they had a blast doing it. And it's really it's one of those events where you can take your entire family. They've got tons of events. If you're into Super Smash Brothers, they've got a tournament for that. They've got Injustice 2 tournaments. They've got a pinball tournament. So if you casual yourself as a bit of a game head, this is it for you. You know, you need to come check it out. Tons of tournaments, speakers, things like that. Atari 2600, PS4, Wii U, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation VR. It's all going to be there. Come hang out. I'll be there probably Sunday. So if you see me, say hello. And guys, go check that out. Go support a good cause. You'll have a blast doing so. So Grand Ole Game Room Expo. Go to grandolexpo.com and go check that out.
That's at the Marriott in Franklin, right?
Is it? Sure. Let me verify that because I need to find out where it's at because I got to go there tomorrow. But yeah, it's have you ever been to something like that, like a game expo or anything?
Not a game expo, no.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it is Franklin Marriott in Cool Springs, so very close to Nashville, guys. It's right around the corner from you, so go check it out. You'll have a blast. All right, well, let's talk about movies, man, because we don't get a chance to do that much because Lee doesn't see a lot of movies, obviously, but we love movies and we love the Marvel movies, and this weekend, Thor Ragnarok hit the big screen, and me and you both went and saw it, and so let's just get some initial thoughts on it. I'll let you start. I mean, I talked about my other podcast I do just briefly, but I want to talk about it here as well. So give me just some initial thoughts on what you thought about Thor Ragnarok.
The vibe of the movie definitely changed from the previous incarnations of the Thor movies. The other two instances of Thor seemed like almost like a Shakespearean with superpowers.
Yeah.
But this one was a comedy movie with superhero elements in it.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was definitely a comedy movie. Like, I mean, it was a buddy movie. Is exactly what it was. I said it's kind of like Rush Hour almost. I mean, it was two guys teaming up who, you know, kind of don't like each other when they meet and then kind of become friendly as it goes on. And, you know, it's got a ton of characters. There's some good, what's the word? Cameos and things like that. I don't want to give away. There's a really good one at the beginning. A guy playing Thor.
Oh, yes. Loki.
Loki. It was fantastic. So I don't want to spoil it, but
it was one of the moments I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Actually.
Did you laugh a lot out loud though? Because that was kind of my thing. Like, since it was just like a pure comedy, I didn't laugh as much as I thought I would because there were just so many jokes. It was like
I did near the beginning of the movie. I was laughing a lot, but as the movie progressed, I'm kind of like you. I became accustomed to the flow of the jokes, and so not as much as the movie progressed.
Yeah, it was like writers got in a room and was like, let's see how many jokes we can throw into this movie. Which, I mean, it was a refreshing, I guess, change of pace. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy influenced this genre of superhero, right? I mean, because before this, they were pretty serious. I mean, there were
a few quips here and there.
Like Avengers is a funny one when Loki meets Hulk. That was funny. Everybody cracked up at that. And also the problem is a lot of the stuff they gave away in the trailer. Like, it would have been awesome if you didn't know Hulk was as involved as he was in the movie. And we've all seen the trailer where, you know, he's in this Coliseum getting ready to fight somebody and it's Hulk. Can you imagine if you didn't know that scene was there? The audience
would have been pretty epic. Yeah.
Oh, they would have lost their minds, you know. Yeah. But unfortunately, I guess they didn't think anybody was gonna. I don't know. They didn't think people were gonna go see it.
I think they wanted to throw several jokes out there, to let people know that this was a different kind of Thor movie.
Yeah.
Even in the previews, and I mean, if it wasn't constantly joke for joke, even before that one scene, And if I hadn't been expecting it, that whole line about it's a friend from work.
Yeah.
if I didn't know that was in the movie and that just came out of nowhere, I would have probably laughed out loud at that one too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's just unfortunately, I guess it just had to be in. I don't know, but so the one thing that kind of knocked on it was the stakes didn't feel that high. Like I didn't really understand how people could die in this world because like, how do you kill someone in this world? It seems no one really could die. I mean, how do you kill Thor? How do you kill like Hulk? You can't kill Hulk, obviously. So what were the stakes really? I mean, that's my big thing, and that's a knock I've heard on a lot of people talking about superhero films, Marvel specifically. The stakes are never that high because for the most part, they're not going to kill any of these main. They're not going to kill Thor. They're not going to kill Hulk.
I mean, they haven't really even some of the villains. I mean, technically, is the Red Skull dead?
Is he?
I mean,
who
don't
knows,
know that.
right? Who knows, right? Yeah, so that's it. But I was really impressed with the character Valkyrie. I liked her a lot. I thought she was
Tessa Thompson.
Yes,
yeah.
Tessa Thompson. Who
really good job.
God, she is stunning. I'm just gonna say that right now. She's been in a couple of movies. She was in the Creed movie. She was in Ghost World. No, not Ghost World. What's that movie? Westworld. Westworld. She's in that show as well. And I've liked everything she's been in. I think she is just. I mean, the thing about the females in these, and obviously Hemsworth is good looking. I mean, we're not stupid. I mean, we know the ladies like it when he took his shirt off and all that. But I look at Wonder Woman, and I look at this and a few others, and the women are always like stunningly beautiful. I don't know what filter. I mean, I'm sure these women are already beautiful anyway, and she was pretty badass character too. You know, she didn't take a lot of gruff, and so it was good to see that. You know,
well, I mean, one difference between her and some of the other comic book characters is she wasn't very sexualized.
Right. That's true.
Movie.
That's true.
And so, I mean, it was really just kind of, she wasn't there as eye candy. She was there just to kick some butt. And
right.
She did it.
Yeah. So I dug it, man. I kind of like that. That was cool. I suggest people definitely go see it. I mean, it's good for like a casual viewer who's maybe.
It is. I love just about anything that's serialized. But this could have been, if this was like a TV series where you're not supposed to miss many episodes, this is one of those episodes that you could have missed,
right?
Without missing the main storyline of the season. But I mean, there's only like a couple of things that you really pick up on that are noteworthy for the whole thing. But even those, you could have kind of.
No, that's true.
I get it.
Yeah, so I guess that's what people are knocking. I give it a solid B. I think it's a good movie. It's not the best superhero movie of the year. It's not the best Marvel superhero movie ever. But if you like the Hulk, you're gonna love it. You know, it's got talking Hulk in it. I mean, so that's pretty awesome. So, what would you give it? Like, give it like a grade or a number or whatever, however you want to rank it.
If we're going on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it. I mean, really, it depends on how I'm grading it. Am I grading as a comedy movie or a comic book movie?
I mean, don't you have to? I guess you just have to.
Yeah. Just as a movie, all in general. I mean, if the point is for me to be entertained, I'd give it like an 8 because it was really entertaining.
Yeah.
But as far as like captivating me, really.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 6.5.
Oh wow, okay. I give it like a 7.5. I mean, I figure it was good. Like if it was on, I'd watch it. You know, so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's not the worst Marvel movie yet, so that's reassuring. So I don't know which one is. I mean, they've all been to me pretty solid. To me, this was a lot like Ant-Man. I mean, you can watch it, you can enjoy it. If you miss it, you're not really missing anything important. I compared it to Ant-Man, and I loved Ant-Man.
What would you say is the worst?
The worst movie so far. I mean, we're not counting the Hulk with Edward Norton. Okay, so that is not.
Even if I included that one, mine would probably be Dark World.
Oh, Iron Man 3 is not that good.
Yeah, that's probably my second one.
I mean, but it's not bad. It's just I think people got upset because the villain wasn't what they wanted him to be. So I would say it's
the whole Mandarin thing.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of fresh. I was like, all right, whatever, you know. But I wasn't a Mandarin. I wasn't. Oh my God, they ruined this character I love. either Iron Man 3, Thor 2 was very forgettable. Honestly, I don't even remember what happened. I remember Loki was in it. I thought Odin died, and
Loki made that. If Loki was not in that movie, it would have been a truly horrible movie.
So who are the villains for Marvel now? Like, is it just Thanos? I mean, is that? I mean, who?
I mean, that's what everybody's pointing at. Well, I mean, you've got Black Panther's coming out in February.
Are you going to go see that at the theater, you think?
I want to see it, but there are aspects that I don't want to go out to see it.
Yeah. I think it looks good. I like Michael B. Jordan a lot, who was in Creed as well, speaking of Miss Thompson there. But I don't know, man. To me, it's maybe another Ant-Man, another Thor. Like, do you need to see this movie? I don't know how it will tie into Infinity Wars or Infinity Gauntlet or whatever they're going to call it.
I mean, there is, slight spoiler alert, the Soul Stone is not located yet.
Oh, okay.
So that will either be in Black Panther, which I doubt, or it will actually come to fruition in the first Infinity War movie.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking for that. Someone's got to die in that movie, and I'm thinking it's Iron Man. Because, I mean, Downey cannot be in these movies he's getting old now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and he still don't get me wrong, guys. He still looks young. He's Iron Man forever. Like, that's going to be a tough job. Hey, come in and replace Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. No, I'm good.
Nope.
And just like somebody replacing Logan, Hugh Jackman's Logan, who's that person going to be? Like, that's a tough job. These people have...
Well, I mean, the difference between Downey and Jackman in these respective roles is Downey is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot think of an incarnation of Tony Stark where he doesn't really fit that bill.
Right.
Whereas Jackman, he's just the movie version of Wolverine. I don't really think he's ever really truly captured comic book Wolverine for
really?
me.
Huh. That's interesting. I guess he did. I mean, good for.
I think he did good, but I mean, I think.
I kind of see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Well, yeah. I definitely say go check it out. It's a good movie, and I'm looking forward more of these characters, especially Valkyrie. I like to see new characters that come. There's some like Guardians where these minor characters kind of become very cool. Like Drax is like a big time character now. You know.
Yeah.
So if you're a comic book fan, you're gonna like it. If not, give it a shot. I think you might like it as well.
But I mean, yeah. If Thor Ragnarok is literally, it's like another comic book movie mixed with was it Holy Grail? What was the movie? The humor in
Monty Python?
Yeah, Monty Python.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
It seemed the humor was kind of on point with that.
Okay. Well, cool, guys. Go check it out. Let us know. Tweet us. Let you know. A couple of people have let me know what they thought about it. So, and I've heard other podcasts talk about it. So
it's an enjoyable time. It's worth the money to go see it.
Yes, for sure. So go check it out. All right. Well, we got more. Let's jump into entertainment news this week. And 2017 is shaping up to be the year of just accusations, allegations, and exposure. I mean, you think about this year so far.
What a wonderful word!
I know. What a great year to be alive. So we know it started. I mean, Weinstein's the one that's really opened the floodgates. I feel. I mean, a lot of people feel Donald Trump kind of opened the floodgates with his stuff. Whatever, however you want to look at it. But now, so we got Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey this week between last week was obliterated. I mean, the guy's done.
Yeah, which is a shame.
He's a good actor. He's a great actor.
He's an amazing actor.
How do you separate the art? Can you separate the art from the person? I've always said that, like, take Woody Allen or somebody like that. I mean, we know this guy is been alleged to do terrible stuff. Bill Cosby's another guy. Can you look at these people the same?
I mean, Chris Brown.
Yep. So can you look at these people the same for their art if they're not very good people? I mean, I've always been asking that question. I don't know. Like,
I think depending on the medium, I think it might be a little bit easier than other ones. I mean, as far as actors, people who are in front of the camera, I think it's a little harder to fix that.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, look at people who've fallen from grace. I mean, look at Mel Gibson, but he's back on the rise now.
He is. He's back. Hollywood took him back. Now these people are alleged, sexually assaulting women. So that maybe it's a little bit like Cosby's done.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen to his legacy once he dies. But they're just really weird guys. Obviously, I mean, I've said it before. I don't know any guys that pull this. Well, let's just get to Louis C.K. and what he's alleged done. Let's get to it. So in 2002, a Chicago comedy duo of two women, Dana Goodman and Julie Wolof, landed the big break, a chance to perform at the U.S. Comedy Arts Festival in Aspen, Colorado. Okay, there you go. Big break. All right. Yeah, all right. Man, all right. When Louis C.K. invited them to hang out in his hotel room for a nightcap after the late night show. They didn't think twice. The bars were closed. They wanted to celebrate. He was a comedian they admired. The women would be together, so they're safe, right? Nothing can happen. As soon as they sat down in the hotel room, still wrapped in their winter jackets, Louis C.K. asked if he could take out his penis and pleasure himself. And he did. He started doing it. And this is not the first time he's done this. 2003, Abby Shabner called Louis C.K. to invite him to one of her shows. And during the phone conversation, he was heard taking care of himself once again, which is very weird. And now there's many, and this is kind of an older story. I've heard of these stories before that he constantly does this. Like he invites women back and he's like, hey, do you mind if I take care of myself in front of you? I mean, so weird. And which Weinstein did that too. Like, I don't understand it. So the last story is the one that would kind of intrigued me here. This one woman said that he invited her back to her room and she allowed him to do it. And then she said she felt kind of bad about it. And I was like, well, I mean, I can see her point. If a man of authority tells these women, to do it, I guess there's part of like Weinstein where they're like, well, if I don't do this, I'm cooked. I'm not going to get a job anymore. I'm going to be yesterday's news. So I understand there's that part of it. And if this guy's just doing this out in the open, then is the comedy scene, will they crucify one of their biggest members? I mean, no way, right? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, being Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me wonders if he's doing this just to see if he'd get away with it.
Well, yeah, but I think, isn't that what Weinstein was doing?
I think he was doing it for the pleasure. I mean, I mean, Louis C.K., I mean, listen to some of his stand-up, some of the stuff that he'd admit to doing on his stand-up. And it's just like,
that's true.
What if he's expecting them to say, no, I'd rather you wouldn't, but he like kind of threw out a challenge and he's like, oh, well, they're cool with it. I guess I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if he approached it that way, because how many of these people told him not to do it?
I mean, most of them, according to the stories. I mean, the majority said no more than said yes.
Oh, okay.
Is what they said. But I guess if you get away with it.
But the ones that said no, he still did it?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, he's that kind of sealed his fate there.
Yeah, he's got it done at that point. I just don't understand, and I don't know if this is something, I'd like to say, is it a power thing? Is it, I did it once, now I can do it again and again? I don't know. I mean, I've never talked to someone who was into this kind of behavior, so I don't have a baseline to ask him, hey, man, what are you getting out of this? Like, is this a power move? Does this get you off? What is the deal here? Like you said, these are powerful men, and I guess they're not used to being told no after some point. I guess we're just used to being told no, like, constantly. So we're just like, all right, well, I'm done. I'm out.
Not even going to ask that question.
So maybe there is some healthy, maybe it's healthy to get rejected a lot, where you just realize, hey, that's fine. If you ask a woman out or you ask her if she wants to do something, she says no, you walk away. You don't go, well, sorry, just not accepting that as a good answer. I think no means yes, so I'm going to keep doing it. So Kevin Spacey was doing it to all these. I mean, my God, his is really bad at this point. I mean, you thought Weinstein's was bad, and then now you find out Spacey was doing it like 14-year-old boys. Like, oh no, man, you can't do that. And now, I don't know if you heard this one or not. It's alleged that Charlie Sheen raped Corey Haim back on the set of Lucas back in the 80s, man. And that's part of the reason he spiraled out of control. Is what Corey Feldman said. He's been saying this for a while. He never gave the name. He said some big shot in Hollywood was raping like young actors. And I guess it's come out this week. He's talking about Charlie Sheen. And Charlie Sheen denies it, but my God, man, the allegations alone are rough. Like,
no, that's all it takes. That's almost anything. I mean, if you come out swinging with an allegation like that, that's almost enough to get your goose cooked.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I mean, so Louis C.K., 5 women that we know of. Bill Cosby, more than 30. Weinstein, no count given yet, that's bad.
Yeah.
So the question, can you afford it? If you have to ask, the answer is probably no. If we have to give you a number and you don't have it, that's bad. So I don't know what's going to happen to these guys, but it's just crazy that this what was the hashtag? Hashtag me too. That these women are going through this. I do feel really bad for them. I just think it's unacceptable. I know we always joke we don't approve of rape and all this stuff, but I come back to this, women, and I know I'm not going to sit here and act. It's never happened to me, so I'm not going to sit here and give some big speech on, I mean, I'm going to tell you, you have to step up and expose these guys, as tough as it's going to be. I look at the Vanderbilt rape case. Vanderbilt's a university here in Nashville, and these 3 guys raped this girl while she was unconscious, and one was her boyfriend. That's a stand-up guy there. And she came forward, went to trial, and they're all going to jail now. I know that was tough for her because she had to go back on campus while all this was happening.
And some of these guys were on the football team, and so that like collegiate sports is no joke.
I mean, it's crazy to me.
I mean, if you do something against the team, I mean, especially in the South, man. UT Knoxville, I mean, it's they bleed orange, you know?
Yeah.
That's everything to them, and if you did something to jeopardize the team.
Oh yeah. It's just a different era now with smartphones, with social media, with everything. This stuff's going to start getting shut down. Hopefully, I mean we don't.
Well, I mean that's the one good thing about all these. You have an avenue, you have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens to you that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be prevented from happening again, then you need to. That's part of your duty to stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it's like you're saying it's okay that it happened.
Right. And men, if you know this is happening, there is some moral obligation on these guys, too. Like, everybody in Hollywood's like, yep, we knew it was happening. Well, then you're
you're a horrible person, too.
You need to step up. Like, if I knew a dude was doing that, I'd say, no, you can't go around doing this. This is unacceptable behavior. So I'm curious to watch this Louis C.K., like I said, because this is a older story that's coming out now because of where we're at in America, and I don't know, man, just crazy times all around. So, all right, so let's go back. Let's get to another story then. This story comes out of the Air Force Academy. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the story or not, but this kind of goes into the whole thing of the generation of step forward. I'm gonna, say something happened. So an Air Force Academy cadet wrote a slur outside his own door, school says. So the Air Force Academy says a cadet whose dorm room was marked by a racist slur this fall is also the person responsible for this message. So someone had written a racial slur on the outside of this room at the Air Force Academy. And the people stepped up and said, we don't know who did it. And there was a big speech given. It went viral. And it said after the racist slur appeared with the words "go home," Superintendent Lieutenant General J. Silvera gathered all 4,000 cadets and says, if you can't treat someone with dignity and respect, then get out. And this thing went viral. This was a huge speech. And now it finds out it was one of the guys in the room who wrote it himself because he was trying. I guess he got
just trying to get out.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of trouble. I think he had gotten in trouble for something else. I think he was trying to shift the blame off himself. I mean, where are we at in this country where, and this was alleged to be done when Donald Trump was running, that people were writing racist remarks on Jewish buildings, Jewish things like that. And a lot of people at the time, and people get really upset when you ask someone, is this a true story or not? It's almost like if they're black or if they're a female, you automatically have to assume that they're telling the truth, which is crazy. I mean, it's always been said if a girl comes forward and says you did sexually assault her, Well, I mean, there's only 2 people know if it happened, and if they're not going to believe you. I mean, the Duke Lacrosse situation is another good example where, the Duke Lacrosse came forward and, they were accused of raping this girl, and everybody thought because they were Duke Lacrosse players, they were guilty. And it turns out it was all a lie. It was all fabricated. So these guys had to go through living hell. I don't know. I've worked somewhere before.
That's life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
News if someone makes that kind of allegation.
For sure. You. Yeah. But I've been accused of stuff at work and was not guilty of the things, but even as it goes, you almost feel guilty at some point. Like, they're going to find me guilty. Like, I didn't even do this, and they're probably going to find me guilty. And then what do? Yeah. So then you're in major trouble at that point. So I don't know, man. I'm just telling people, you want to assume people are telling you the truth, and I guess you have to go in kind of hedging your bet. But look at a situation and ask questions. I think we're running out in this day and age. We're running out of the ability to ask questions without being called, oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're misogynistic. Oh, you're this or that. It's all right to ask questions, people.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this guy here. He is really, it really just perpetuates this whole racist society we allegedly live in, which I think is, I know there are racists in the world. I'm not stupid, but man, if you just read social media, you would think there were racists like everywhere. Like there's like 95% of the population. They're racist and they're coming for you.
And it's not true.
Oh no, I don't think it's true at all.
I mean, I'd probably say less than 10% of the people are the ones that you have to worry about.
Right.
And it really makes it seem like it's the other way around.
Right. Well, let's go to this then. So this is out of Finland. An airline in Finland said it will begin weighing some of its passengers between late October and early November. They said they will perform the move on a voluntary basis, and the objective is to gather more accurate data about the average weight of its passengers and their carry-on luggage. And they said the initial goal of the scales will be to weigh 100 to 150 passengers and their carry-on luggage. We want to make sure we have the best possible data when we go forth with this study. So they're saying the average luggage for a male passenger weighed approximately 15 pounds, while the average for a female, would you think is more or less than a male?
I would assume more.
It's actually less. It's 13 pounds, which is crazy. The average female passenger weight was 147 pounds, and the average male, according to this, was 187 pounds. And then in Finland, the average male is 189. The average woman is about 165. So it's kind of crazy that actually the men stay about average for flying, according to the study, and the women actually were a little bit less weight as they get on the plane, I guess, according to the study. But a lot of people think that this story, they might start targeting overweight people on planes like they did. If you follow Kevin Smith, he felt he was fat shamed on a plane a while back, So, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I know there's always racist, sexist. There's also this big thing about overweight people feel that they're kind of ostracized. And we said before, I mean, attractiveness does matter in society, whether you want to say it or not. But do you think this would fly in America if they started weighing passengers before they got on a plane? Like, no way, right?
No.
Unfortunately, it is about, and with planes, I mean, it's terrible. We've talked about planes a lot on this show, but it's really up to their guideline. It's up to their procedure whether they even let you on the plane or not. They can literally walk on and just go, you're off because I don't like the way you look. And it's just like, I don't even know how that's legal, really. I mean, that seems like that's pretty dicey if you ask me. I don't know about that, man. I've always kind of wondered about that. Like, so you can just walk, like, can you imagine walking into a business and just going, I'm not going to serve you because I don't like the way you look. You'd be in deep water. I mean, there's cases where the businesses, like the cake places, got in trouble for not serving people of all kinds.
Yeah.
I don't know how the airline gets away with it. I'm glad I don't have to fly very often. I mean, I've flown a couple times and twice in the last year, which was a lot for me, but before that, it'd been a while since I'd flown. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Sammy says from the chat, maybe they give you a free meal to take the survey, bump up the weight a little bit. But we'll see how that works out. I mean, I love how it's always this is for a study, quote unquote. Okay, sure. And then, Finland, of course, they're all in shape and everything's good with them. So,
actually, I mean, weren't the weights higher for women in Finland?
The average woman there is 165 pounds. So I don't know what.
I thought the other one, the previous one was like 147.
Oh, who get on the plane and fly.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The women that fly actually are way less than the average woman that lives in the country.
Oh, okay.
I mean, about 20 pounds. I mean, what does that really mean? But yeah, there we go. Let's talk about real quick. We got the situation in Texas, the shooting at the church, and this has been something that's been happening a lot as well. This has obviously brought up a lot of discussions about gun control and things like that. And let's just kind of jump into it without Lee here. We know Lee's big thing is he would ban all the guns if he could. He doesn't think that's realistic, but if he could get away with it, he would ban all the guns. So just looking at the situation from that, what are your thoughts on this Texas situation, just starting off?
I mean, first off, with almost any violent crime where a gun is involved, I honestly don't think banning guns would help it alleviate the problem. They're not going in, I'm going to shoot all these people up, but I can't because I'm not allowed to legally own a gun.
Right, because this guy he wasn't even supposed to have guns himself. I believe he had domestic violence charges.
Yeah.
So he wasn't even legally supposed to have a gun. So
I mean all those gun laws are kind of null and void at this point.
Right. I mean, here's what people understand: if someone wants a gun bad enough, they're going to get a gun. What are you going to do? I mean, you put microchips in the guns and just follow around? Like, who's going to do that? I mean, think of the amount of guns in this country. You're not going to get rid of them anyway. Yeah. But the people say, this is a cry for. Here's what they say. The right say it's a mental health issue. The left says it's a gun control issue. And once again, the sad thing about this is a lot of people lost their lives, and we're sitting here and children were involved as well, which is really sad. People are turning this into a political issue. And then a lot of people are saying, I'm offering my thoughts and prayers to the victims, and a lot of people are saying, stop that. It does no good. Now, as a man of faith, what do you think about that?
I really disagree when people knock that. When a big celebrity that actually recently knocked that was Will Wheaton of
I saw that
of Big Bang Theory, Star Trek: The Next Generation fame. Mm-hmm. He and the rest of his, I think the rest of the following week on YouTube, on Twitter, he's kind of trying to find ways to eat his words. Apologizing and whatnot.
He's really went after the Christian right in the last few bits. It's not this. He's done it before, I've seen. I mean, what is that about?
But I mean, he did it specifically towards a politician and because a politician said that that same line, our thoughts and prayers. Well, you should be trying to limit this and be passing laws to prevent it, not just praying.
Right. And I'm not the most spiritual man. I'm a religious man ever, but I think, and this is just kind of something I feel, I believe even if you don't pray, you can send out positive vibes to people. I mean, look at cancer. A lot of cancer patients who had a positive mindset when they went in for treatment tended to do better than those who thought they were done for. So I believe there's some kind of just X factor to positivity in yourself, sending out.
I mean, it could be part of some kind of like a spiritual placebo effect,
right?
But I mean, even like today, before we started, I ran over to Lee's to get some of the equipment, and Lee is probably as far as away as spiritual as I am spiritual.
Right,
And before I left his house, I was like, hey, man, is there anything I can do for you? Just let me know before I call away. And he's like, well, I mean, just thoughts and prayers for us and the baby.
Really? Lee said that?
And that was Lee's words. And
I wish you would have recorded that. I thought Lee would have said something like this.
Keep my kids out your mouth.
So, but you said he said thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and
Okay.
prayers.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
And so I mean, for someone like Will Wheaton or anyone to kind of knock somebody for their belief system just because they're in a, I mean, basically for just political voice is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're just people are just looking for peace of mind, and other people would like to do what they can to do that in an immediate fashion. He can't pass a law immediately. None of these
No, it doesn't
people
work.
can.
It's not a dictatorship.
Yeah, it's nothing that person can do.
Yeah.
Immediately. He did not know the future, so he couldn't have prevented it himself, even as a politician. So I mean, that's the best thing you can do at that point in time. It's just let people know you're thinking about them, and if there is something you can do, you will. But until those things come to fruition, that's all we can really give.
Right. Exactly. I mean, and so yeah, he sent out a tweet at Paul Ryan is who the guy was.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
And basically he said, God, he said, hey, real and actual people of faith, I hear you. He apologized. I apologize for insulting you in my rage at Paul Ryan's refusal to address gun violence. And so he has offered an apology. Is it legit? I mean, I would imagine. I don't know the guy. I mean, I know he's loved by the internet, and so whatever. But
I would not be surprised if the producers, Chuck Lorre over there at CBS was like, hey, well, you got to no.
Yeah, you got to dial that down, bro.
You got to do something about that.
We got some Big Bang listeners that are viewers that are not going to be happy with you saying this, but. He basically, I'm trying to find his original tweet, but he basically just said, if prayers did anything, they'd still be alive. I mean, come on, man. That's not how prayer works. Up. So, yeah, that was big this week. So, I mean, as corny as it sounds, my thoughts and prayers do go out for those victims. I can't imagine what it would be like losing a child, losing a family member at a church. Why are people attacking churches? What is the deal here? What is, I mean, I don't understand it.
No.
I mean, I just don't. God, leave people alone.
I mean, apparently I guess the in-laws of an estranged wife went to that church.
Okay. So that was his big thing. That's how he was going to get back.
But I mean, they weren't even in town. I mean, they weren't there at the service that day.
Well, I just say, I
mean, there's no excuse. I mean, I'm not saying it's right but I mean, I'm just saying it's just obviously there was something wrong with this guy.
Oh.
He wasn't supposed to have guns.
Right.
Unless you melted down all the guns in the world, this guy would still have one.
Right. For sure. So
I mean, your gun laws would not help you in this situation.
That's my big that's the big thing.
There are gun laws in place that if everyone obeyed the rules, this guy wouldn't have the guns in the first place.
Right.
So
what are you going to do? Well, I mean, that's a tragic event. Hopefully it's I don't know. It's just happening more and more. It seems Columbine just opened the door for this stuff to happen. Now it's nonstop. So I don't know. I just hope that I don't even know what to do. I mean, at some point, the news, the politics, I'm just trying to slowly shut it out because it's just infuriating. It just makes people upset. And
I mean, and guns aside, based on what happened in New York the week before, if someone wants to hurt a lot of people, you don't need a gun.
No,
it's easy to do in this day and age. It sucks.
Yeah.
But and I don't know if it's just hearsay or what. But how did that guy get? How was he subdued?
With guns. Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's the whole point. People, the stat that kills me when people go, well, there's more gun violence in America than anywhere else. Yeah, because we got more guns. That's not really a fair study. I mean, you're comparing us to Britain where most people don't have guns. Of course their gun rate of violence is smaller than ours. That's stupid. I mean, what does that even mean? So, I don't know. Obviously, to me, there's a system in place that needs to be followed. People need to, whoever allowed this to happen, there needs to be consequences for whoever allowed this guy to get a gun, however that happened. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's go to a little bit lighter topic, John. People love the Dear John segment. They go crazy for it. And this week, I think people are going to enjoy it as well. So someone emailed us. I'm going to read it in the Dear John segment. All right, guys, this is a good one now. I don't know. A couple people this week told me they were going to write in, and they delivered the goods. So here we go. Dear John, my physical attraction to my boyfriend has significantly diminished due to his baldness. I know this may seem shallow, but I've lost all interest in intimate contact with him. When I look at his bald head, or he rests his head on my shoulders, it literally makes my stomach lurch. Our romance began several years ago when he still had hair, and it fell out a few years ago. I still have feelings for him, but I don't know how to get past this. I have tried turning out the lights and even thinking about somebody else. I'm sure other women feel the same way I do. But he tries to conceal his baldness by doing the flip over thing with his side hair, so I know he's self-conscious about it, but I am so turned off. Can you give me some advice? I haven't said anything because I don't want to offend him. I am upset and discouraged and no longer look forward to seeing him because of this. It would be an awful reason to leave him, but I can't stand looking at his head. Turned off by baldness. John, take the floor, man. This ought to be fantastic, bro. Woo!
I mean, this is akin to if we were to reverse the tables, if we were to say this was a guy and he wants to break up with his girlfriend because she gained weight,
yeah,
they would light him up.
For sure, yeah, because Lee says that all the time,
And I would have to agree. That'd be a horrible reason to break up with somebody if they started to gain weight.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, how much weight? I mean, we talk about this off the mic a lot, but
yeah, I mean, if it's unhealthy, then it shouldn't be about the way they look. It should be about their health.
Okay, but realistically, you have to be attracted to someone too, though.
I agree with that.
Okay, so
but there are options with weight gain, and there are also options about as far as hair loss goes. But I mean, if she's even contemplating breaking up with this guy because of his hair,
yeah,
then I mean, she doesn't deserve him in the first place. But I mean, if you really care about him and you want to try and make this work, you want to be attracted to him, then, I mean, he's not going to get hair plugs on his own. He's not going to make any actions on his own that are going to last. That flip over is not going to last forever.
Oh, no. Not at all.
That's it's just the beginning of the end.
But can't she be honest, though, at the same time? I mean, I feel like
she's going to have to talk to him.
But she's honest enough to admit that bothers her. I mean, it's to me, it's kind of a catch-22 because, I mean, she's being honest about that it does affect her attractiveness level to him. I mean, that fair enough, so yeah, but it is tough to sometimes, like we say, if you're with someone a long time, and she said they've been together several years, enough where he's lost his hair over the course of the relationship. I think sometimes you get locked into who you were at the beginning of a relationship. And
I think that's especially true for guys.
And so it starts to change. You change as a person, physically and mentally, emotionally, and all that. And then a lot of times it's uncomfortable to talk about that. So how would you have her go talk to him about it? Like, how would you set up that situation where she goes and talks to him about this situation?
Oh, it's a good question.
She wrote in.
Yeah,
she needs advice.
Just as sensitive as possible. I mean, I would maintain. I mean, like she said, he's already combing over and stuff, and maybe if she brought up options with her.
Yeah. What are some options? Hair club for men?
Oh, there's hair club for men. There's Rogaine. There's I mean, they got that spray stuff. I mean, maybe,
oh my God, the spray stuff.
If it's just a looks thing, then maybe that might be enough to help.
Yeah, I guess so. But does she? How honest does she need to be with him? Does she need to tell him like?
I don't think she should go full on. I don't want to be with you because you're bald. I think that she should say it is kind of a turnoff, and
like I sit at night and turn the lights off and think about other people.
I would not say. I would leave that part of the conversation out.
Yeah, I might too. But I I'm sure that happens. I mean, a lot. Luckily, we still have our hair, and I mean, if it happens, it happens. I mean, there's nothing you can. I mean, like you said, there are steps you can do, but it's costly too. It's not like cheap.
Yeah,
it's not like
cheap.
$50 or something. It takes time, and I think. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. What do you love about this guy? You just love his looks then? I mean, just shave his head bald like freaking Bruce Willis. Why not do that?
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't. I mean, I'm with you. Just tell him, like, I don't know.
What I would do is, if the roles were reversed, if she was gaining a lot of weight, how would she want him to talk to her?
Oh, God. How would you even bring that up?
I'm just saying, like.
No, I'm asking, how would you bring that up?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably act like I was
by a treadmill or something. Hey, honey, Merry Christmas. Here's a treadmill.
I would act like I wanted to lose weight, and I'd say, hey, I need your help because I can't diet on my own.
Well, she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, that's how I'd start.
John just got a bow wrapped around a treadmill. Here's a gym membership for Christmas. Like, what's going on here? No, it happens. I mean, we all, and I've gained weight since I've been married. I mean, shoot, haven't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens with time, but this is unfortunate. You need to really reassess if you want to be with this guy because there may be bigger issues that you're not even aware of at this point. If this is making you that disgusted by him, either, like you say, I think John's
got to be something else.
I think John's good on this one. Either, tell him to get some hair club for men or something, or shave it like Bruce Willis. I mean, Bruce Willis got a good look. He made that cool. Michael Jordan made it look cool. So it can be done. So, man, I hope hopefully you can. So you basically get the hair in the can and just spray it on. Get that fixed maybe while you're sleeping or something. Is that your final advice, John? Spray them.
Spray it on.
Spray it on. There we go. All right. So if you want to write in to Dear John, there's just basically two ways to do it. You can basically write us, bybpod@gmail.com. All emails remain anonymous. We will not tell anyone your name. We won't tell them what we're doing or anything like that. So they will remain anonymous if you're worried about that. Or if you want to remain completely anonymous, go to the website, bybpod.com, and there's actually a form on there you can fill out. And it is totally anonymous. You can put any email you want on there, and we'll never see it. So if that's the big deal for you, write us in, and we'd like to help you and kind of have fun with it too. So, but everybody needs help sometime, and there you go. All right. Every week we give advice, and then we applaud our listeners with the Blame Your Selfie submissions, where we ask people to take a selfie during the week, and during that we will show your selfie on the show, and we will give you praise in the process. So we have a few this week, so let's go ahead, hit those selfies. So here we go. First selfie of the week comes from Jarrett Nicholson. Jarrett Nicholson on Twitter at 5'_14". He submitted one last week, so this is his second one here. This week he said, listening to BYB Pod while getting this red stuff siphoned out of my arm. Look forward to getting that tape ripped off. #blame your selfie. So Mr. Jarrett gave blood this week, and that's very, very admirable. I gave it 2 weeks ago and took a very similar picture to this. So getting blood donation selfies are taking off. They're so 2017. So if you give blood, apparently, Blame Your Brother is the best thing to listen to. It helps you get through it. And there you go. So Jarrett, thank you for that, for the selfie and for giving blood. That's fantastic. All right, here I am. Dave is the worst. It says a selfie inception. #blame your selfie. That is me at Kohl's and Garden Gnomes. Now you can buy them where they take selfies. So that is that's fantastic, guys. That's just what our society needed. Selfie inception. So I took that while I was out. I'm taking a selfie, and the gnomes behind me are taking a selfie. So there you go, a double selfie shot for you. All right, here we go. This is Michael Anthony Nicholas, and he is actually submitting a selfie for someone else. I don't know how that works, but we're gonna roll with it because I know she's a listener. She's a fan of the show.
Like an unselfie.
This is Blame Your Brother listener Azealia, who works with NASCAR, riding in the pace car with Terry Labonte. Hey, how cool is that? #blame your selfie. So she is big into the NASCAR scene, and she does a lot of NASCAR stuff. So she got to ride in a pace car this week with race car Terry Labonte, however you say his name. I've heard the name before, so that's pretty cool. So Michael Anthony nominating other people. I love it. Let's get him involved. All right, here's Sammy, who's in the chat tonight, and it says hashtag blame your selfie, hashtag brony life. This is Sammy and his young grandson, I believe, right? Is that his grandson? Yeah.
So.
His grandson is sound asleep, living that brony lifestyle. If you listen, you know what that means. So, all right, here is Mandy. Love this picture. This is really cool. This is says podcast and coffee, hashtag blame your selfie, and she is from Canada, rocking the Tim Hortons coffee. Tim Hortons, if you've never been before, you go up north and it's there. Definitely go check it out. It is it's really good stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have it down here. So I asked her if she would send us that coffee, and she said it was already drank. But Mandy has a couple of different podcasts she does. She does Box Office Beats, which is a really good podcast where they look at movies and music. I'm enjoying that podcast a lot. It's really fun. They pick 5 songs from movies, different categories. Like this week was actual bands in movies, not like movie bands, but actual bands that were in a movie. They had like The Offspring was in that. What's that? Oh God, what's the movie called where the guy dies, he comes back to life or something? Or that hand? Oh, Idle Hands. That's what it is. Idle Hands. So Offspring was in that, and the lead singer got killed. So that was one of their choices. So they had a couple of good choices. So check that out there on Twitter at Bob Eats Pod. Bob Eats Pod. Go check that out. She also does the Piecast. And she also does Little Geek Lost. So go follow her on Twitter at Cyanide with 2 N's. The extra N is for awesome. And you can check out all of her podcasts. She's been doing it for a while, so we like that. Oh, look at it. Here's Marlon Mealer. Half Pints Point. He's back. He said, are you kids still doing this? Hashtag blame your selfie. Looks, how would you describe this selfie, John?
He's squinting one eye and he's got his head tilted. Looks like he's trying to do like Quasimodo.
Oh, Quasimodo. There you go. It looks like he's trying to be tough, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Half Pint, we miss you guys. You just come back here and join us sometime in the chat, man. We miss hanging out with you and chatting with you. He's been on in a couple bonus episodes. So that's my buddy. I enjoy him. So here we go. This is the last selfie. This is Bethany at Space Pants, who is a fan favorite of the show. Everyone loves Bethany. And it says here, hashtag Throwback Thursday, hashtag green eyes, hashtag blame your selfie, rocking the glasses, got the green eyes. Everything is fantastic about this picture. It's amazing. If you've been with us for a while, you know about Bethany. So we applaud that, guys. Thanks so much for sending in all your selfies. We always appreciate it. Really makes the show. It's a good benefit show, but also while we're at work during the week or while we're getting ready for the show, it's good to know that you're out there thinking about us and sending us selfies. Yes, so we really appreciate it. All right, so we did our selfies, we did our advice. So now you know what that's time for. It's time for the major key.
So let me give you a major key. Where is the key?
That is not the key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, it's time for a major key. Major key is when we get advice about the show. From the show, we give you advice about something. Johnny, things stand out. I mean, it's going to be rough, man. Just 2 of us.
No means no.
No means no. I think that's good enough, guys. Take that to heed. We hate rapists. We hate sexual assaultists. And no means no. That's your major key.
This means you, Louis C.K.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey. Harvey Weinstein. Bill Cosby. Charlie Sheen.
Donald Trump.
Stop grabbing them. Okay. So anyway, there you go. That's our major key. That was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I guess we're coming up to the end of the show. I do want to say this week something happened, and I'm not happy with it. Twitter has increased the tweet count to 280 characters now, and
I thought we were gonna make it through without you mentioning.
It's out of control, man. It's like reading Facebook now with all these psychos just tweeting out 280 characters. What was wrong with the 140 character limit? Like, is this a Donald Trump thing? Does Donald Trump own part of Twitter? I'm starting to think he does. I'm starting to think he has stock in it because I'm telling you, every time that dude tweets something out, people go crazy. It doesn't matter. He could just say Happy Veterans Day and they would like lose their mind over it.
Yeah.
Now he's got 280 characters to really offend people. I've heard this from other podcasts. I think Not Playing Stupid or Fake Ass Radio said it. One of them said, there is a conspiracy theory, man, that this guy might have stock in Twitter, and that's why he's doing this stuff. So Twitter can't give you an edit button to edit like on Facebook and Instagram. They all have edit buttons. No, we're going to increase the tweet count where you can make more typos and get taken out of context. Come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm sick of Twitter. I mean, I like the people that are on it, and it's great to interact with them, but just the political warfare on it, it's just out of control.
It would be great if there was a way that you could have like a Twitter just for like political stuff.
I've said this
and like have the one for non-political stuff.
Dude, I've literally
that would be amazing.
Yeah, I've literally said this. That's amazing that you said that. I think that's 100% true. I don't know why there.
I think that's for all social media. I mean,
I think there should. I would make this if I had the knowledge and the ability to do this. I would totally make this happen. I mean, I'm just sick of it, man. I'm just sick of all the
you'd
politics.
have to have like somebody to read every tweet.
Well, that's fine.
And to deem whether or not
that's true.
Nope.
or it could be a community that just reports it and kind of works on that. You know, that might get out of control, but I don't know. Something's got to happen here, so I don't know. But anyway, there you go. Tweet at us 280 characters. Says we need up votes and down votes on Twitter, and then Robin says I'm only on IG. So yeah, I don't know, Twitter. We'll see what happens to it. So anyway, all right, guys. So we are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on a bunch of social media. If you want to see all those ways to get in touch with us, you go to bybpod.com. That's our website. There you'll find every past episode we've ever done. So if you want to go back and check those out, there's your chance to do that. You can
go from the beginning.
You can. Episode 1 to episode 66. Just make it a marathon. You're on a plane. You weigh too much. Pop in your earbuds. You don't have to worry about it. You know, no big deal. I'll put you on that scale. You'll be in heaven, or if you're giving blood, who knows, whatever. But there's a link on the right, social media. You can get us on Twitter, Facebook. We're on YouTube, Instagram. And also there are ways to get the podcast, such as Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play. All the links are there. If you're having trouble ever finding the show, message us and we'll tell you how to get it. That would be weird. I mean, since I'm talking to them right now, I don't know how they would do that. But anyway, or maybe they're listening to us on Radio Vegas Rocks. Guys, go check out Radio Vegas Rocks. It's radiovegas.rocks. They've been supporting us since day one. And this week, new information came out. We are one of the top 30 shows on the network. Which is that's pretty crazy. We're like up. Cool. I think we're almost in the top 20. So you guys apparently have been going to check it out. We really appreciate that. Jay and his crew, they moved to a new building. Big things are going on. So radiovegas.rocks, you can go to the website, or if you go to TuneIn, if you got the TuneIn app, just search for radiovegas.rocks and it will come up. You can check out all kinds of good stuff. Hey, holidays are coming up. If you're going to be buying stuff on Amazon, use our Amazon link. There's a link right there. You click on it. It takes you to Amazon. Nothing is different to you, but a small percentage of your sales help the show, and we get a small kickback on every purchase you make. You can still get your Blame Your Brother shirts, which are always a conversation starter for sure. Anybody that wears them.
If you're out there and you're looking to get a little attention, get your Blame Your Brother shirt.
That's true. There you go. And then, like I said, you can email the show. There's a contact form there, so you can remain anonymous if you want to write to John, or if you just want to write to us and just say, hey, this is what I thought. You guys are idiots. You guys are smart, whatever. And then there is a link to the donate to the show if you want to give us like $10 million. We are not going to turn that money down. I mean, I don't know what we do with it, but whatever. So anyway, so check out the website, guys. Get on it. Check it out. Tell all your friends about it. The big thing, like I always say, is social media is share, like, retweet, all that good stuff, where we can move up the ranks of Radio Vegas, Apple Podcasts, whatever. It's always good to see you guys sharing the episode with us and everything. So, all right. Well, I think we've kind of hit everything. Did I miss anything? Anything kind of standing out for you?
I cannot think of anything.
All right. Well, this week, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Later.